Yeah, back out here. I got this all done up in the well and a tail down there. So I'm gonna spray the undercarriage doesn't get done. I made my little thing there. I got all these done. I forgot there was that one little spot of rust in the corner where the paint had chipped. So I put a blob there. The blob's bigger than what it is. I figured, what the heck? We sanded it out, but what the heck? I had the pock marks, so I might as well do it. Did that. I made those smaller. This one we got a Bondo tomorrow. I did these. And I think we're good. So I think we're gonna be good. I'd like to move the car over just a couple more inches this way, we'll be fine. If I can move the back over 6 inches, I'll move the front over a foot. More than good. And I think I'm gonna deflate the front tires. They give me a better reach. I mean, I'm not painting the sides of the car right now, but you know, just give me a better reach. It's just up kind of high in the nose. So we're getting there. So I'm gonna let that sit like another 10 minutes. I'm gonna clean it off, call that good, and then probably gonna call it good. All this plastic here, which is a lot more than you see, it's around the tire to there and then doubled back all to there. And all the stuff I ran around the back is all the stuff I cut off the roof. So this is the old plastic that was there. As you see, this has become a plastic bench. We got to clean that and get rid of this. I rest everything on the glass, but sooner or later, I know it's only plastic, but bad habits will just start. And tomorrow, I think what we're going to do is we'll come home tomorrow and we'll knock that out up there real quick. Hopefully the rest of these are pretty much dent free. I really won't know until there's gloss on it. I don't know what to expect up in these areas here where all the leading is, especially this one. I don't expect that to be flat. The quarter panel is welded too far out when they did it, so, and there's no fixing it. Give you the cricket. I saw the little guy today. He ran across the floor. So with that said, this is probably all we're going to see for tonight. And here. And hopefully tomorrow, when you see a video tomorrow night, hopefully this is gray. See, I put the epoxy on Friday. I have to do it by Wednesday. I think what's going to happen tomorrow is, anyway, I think this is going to get a second coat. Once I put the coat on, it starts again on this. So it'll be recoated. As of right now, it just needs to be wiped down. Just to emphasize one thing real quick. I don't know if anybody's doing this or not doing this. This was a big thing a while ago, and I remembered it. Wax and grease remover, which is somewhere, this stuff right here. Wax and grease remover. Also my mixing pad, since I had to use my mixing thing as a patch panel. That's kind of sad. Too cheap to go buy another piece of metal. Wax and grease remover is meant to remove wax and grease while the paint is still on the car, and that's it. You're done with it. Just so you guys know that. If you start spreading wax and grease remover all over your Bondo and your prepped areas, and it soaks in, and it doesn't fully bleed out, you're gonna get a million fish eyes. Trust me, I've been there. So there is something called pre-paint prep and shit like that. It's a little different. This stuff is definitely different. Once I get the car coated like this, I clean it with glass cleaner. But you can't clean this with glass cleaner, it'll just rust. So, hoping everything's sanded good enough up there. I know all that stuff you see is all feathered out. And you know, the roof vibrates so much, it's hard to sand it anymore. I did put a lot of time into the roof, so I'm figuring with a high build and a block, and it should be fine, unless it's dents that I haven't seen. So that's what happens. Well, that was the bad point about Junior coming out here and stripping this car. Me not being here, as you guys know. I'm discovering dents as I put liquid on them. So, with that said, that's going to be it. Hopefully next time. Okay, guys. I cleaned that off, and it looked absolutely mint. I've been using this. I think this one's stainless steel. Who knows? It could be regular steel and it can be preventing it from rusting. I don't know. The regular bristle one don't work, and laying on the floor there's the copper one. But it looked absolutely mint down in the pores. I cleaned it all out. So I put one little blob back on there. Oh, big blob. And I'll leave it there another 10 minutes. And then I'll scuff it. You gotta watch out, this stuff hardens the metal. So, when I was doing the lights, and I did it multiple times, every second time I gave it a light sanding with 220. And then you could see the stuff like immediately turn color as you put it on. You would see, I don't know if it's boiling, because it would turn like light pink as it would make contact. And I think what happens is, as it hardens and you put more on, it can't get past that layer. And it has to get into the rust. You know, if you have flash rust, this will get it off instantly. You know, pretty much you put it on there, wait 5 minutes, you wipe it off, you're good to go. But if you have deep rust, that's why I use the bristle brush and whatever it is, and I go in there with 36 grit on a hand, you know, my hand. You have to keep knocking or roughing up that metal so it can keep biting, or you just sit there and spin your wheels. That I learned. So depending on how deep the rust is, like I said, I had that pretty much gone. I was, you know, debating how I was going to take care of it. That spot's been there since I got the car. I would just touch it up with white touch-up paint, and eventually it would fall off, and then I'll touch it up and fall off. I'll touch it up. It's not holes or anything. It was just a rusted area that I took care of for over 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, whatever it is. But we don't want it to come out. And I was looking at the back of this car. I think I'll bore you for another minute. Thinking of how we're doing the paint scheme. I would have to look, alley-oop, if you follow it, kind of here. It's a little bit over here is where it's going to divide. So this will be a color, then that'll be blue to that part. But I think when I shoot the color, I'm obviously going to shoot it with the gate off, so I'll be shooting this jam at the same time. And I'm just going to put a tape line right down the center here. And knowing that this is where it has to be, I'll blow the paint in at least another 6 inches past there and then taper it. And then if I have to do any kind of sanding, I just have to do it on one little small area that's hidden. And up top, we're going to do it on the center rib of the most furthest over rib for the molding. And once again, that'll save sanding and having the risk of that lump in the paint, if you know what I mean. So when I come back the other way, and then we do the white down the center. So yeah, after this car is painted, the hood and gate back here will be painted on the car. So it'll have to get a total remask. So that's the only way to really do it. Or else it'll just, well, let me reword it like that. If I put the gate on and do the gate, then that means I'm going to have to pull the gate off, and this will be all misted, all the colors and all crap, and then I'm going to have to mask off the car to do this. When I could just mask the car completely and lay the hatch in there and run the lines down. Well, yeah, lay the hatch in there. That's what it's going to be. And whether I paint it on the car or off the car is going to be determined. Same with the front valance. So there's going to be multiple days of painting. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think the color Junior got was Rangoon Red, which came out in like 64 on Fords and went up into the 70s, believe it or not. I guess it's very similar to the toolbox over there, the bottom box. I've seen it in person. It's a nice red. It'll be Olympic White, which is a GM white. They used that for like 15 years. It's a white, crisp white. I'm curious if that's the color white Ruben used. And I think he went with Grab a Blue. You know, Grab a Blue is within a shade, if that, of the original Petty Blue. Just to make things easy. We had a very, very hard time getting anybody to find the paint code for Petty Blue, even though I had the code to decipher it. And I went to 3 different paint stores and the guy I'm dealing with. So 4 people had a problem with the Pt2. And the grabber blue is just, it's like right there. So it doesn't matter. We could do whatever colors we want. What was I going to say? So that looks like what we're going to do. And the clear is going to be SPI clear is what we're going to try. Junior's been on the phone with them. It was a choice of SPI and Wet when I did my wagon. And I narrowed it down to Wet at the time. And now Junior wants to try something new, so I'll try it. So we're going to try the SPI, which is Southern Polyurethane Industries. I think it's Industries. Based out of Georgia, I think. But we'll see what happens. So with that, I've gabbed long enough, and I tell Junior all the time, I was like, this isn't a 4-door Hornet, this is a 4-door Gremlin. If this hatch was welded on and the glass open, it would be a Gremlin.